all of the planes that were subject to the written order, the judge's written order, took off before the order was entered in the courtroom on Saturday. And the administration will, of course, be happily answering all of those questions that the judge poses in court later today. These are designated foreign terrorists. The president signed a proclamation on February 20th, 2025, designating TDA as a foreign terrorist organization that was in consultation with the Attorney General and the Secretary of Treasury. That was pursuant to 8 U.S. Code 1189. The president has the right to do that. And I think nobody would argue that Tren de Aragua should be designated a foreign terrorist organization. These are heinous monsters, rapists, murderers, kidnappers, sexual assaulters, predators who have no right to be in this country, and they must be held accountable.
That was Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt today on the fight that blew up between the White House and federal Judge Boasberg. Right now, he's holding a hearing demanding why the Trump White House did not turn back to the U.S. planes already in mid-flight, loaded with hundreds of violent MS-13 and Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang members. They were heading to El Salvador. Let's bring in former acting DHS Secretary under President Trump, Chad Wolf. Chad, when you saw this, what was your reaction? How does this look to the American people? The planes were full of foreign, vicious, criminal, illegal aliens. So Democrats are okay with bringing back in murderers and kidnappers and people who've assaulted children?
Well, I agree with you. Look, this continues to be a disconnect with the left and with the American people. The American people want dangerous people out of their country and out of their communities. And the left is going to side with those dangerous individuals, it appears, time and time again because they don't like President Trump. And they're going to try to push back in every instance that they can. But in this specific case, we are talking about terrorists. We are talking about individuals, whether they be TDA or MS-13, that the Trump administration and ICE has identified, they have apprehended, and they are trying to remove from this country to a place like El Salvador or back to Venezuela eventually. And so this idea that you have to turn planes around in midair is crazy. I've never heard of this before. This certainly shouldn't be the case that one federal judge has the authority to do this. Once they leave, those planes are in international airspace and can continue on. So this idea that planes need to be turned around, I don't know where this is coming from.
Yeah, I mean, this puts in sharp relief that there are something like 885 judges nationwide who could step in and try to block the Trump White House. Yeah. Americans see that. They see that this is wrong. The Trump White House says it will win the case at the Supreme Court, that they have other avenues to pursue, we're hearing, besides the Alien Sedition Act. I mean, let's talk about this, Chad. They're listed as foreign terrorists. Here's what the White House says. Tren de Aragua operates in conjunction with Venezuela's communist leader, Maduro. He's running a, quote, narco-terrorism enterprise that this gang is, quote, supporting the Maduro's regime of the goal of destabilizing democratic nations, including the U.S., that it's carrying out its objective of using illegal narcotics and crime to destabilize the U.S. Isn't that the real scandal, that they're allowed into the United States and that this judge, who has no authority over foreign policy, is trying to bring these terrorists back in?
Well, absolutely. Look, the Trump administration is dealing with the mess that the Biden team left them in, with millions of individuals here from MS-13 to TDA and the like, and they're trying to remove that. And if the left, time and time again, is going to side with those terrorists and with those groups rather than the safety of the American people, that's what it is, really, at the end of the day. And I think the Trump team, I agree, I think they will be successful at the end of the day.
I mean, this is ripe for the Supreme Court, Chad, because the number of injunctions filed against the Trump White House already has exploded. They exploded in Trump's first term, and now it's off the chain. It's gone nuts. Chad Wolf, thank you so much.